So we're going to show you the power of one-sided pulls using Jupiter as an example. So I brought into Jupiter, which was around $1,383. So I'm down on it. Now, the benefit of actually going in on a one-sided pull is I just put USDC. So as you can see on my balance, we've got mainly USDC in our pool. And hopefully what we want it to do is bounce down here and then bounce back or stay in the middle and we'll eventually break even. So the benefit of a one-sided pool is you don't risk if you make a mistake in terms of entry, if it keeps going up, you'll just have your USDC here. But typically when there is a run up, there's always a pullback, always a pullback. No matter how long it takes, guaranteed in crypto, 99.9%, there's always a pullback. And if you can catch the top and enter like I did, you'll get a pullback here and then eventually it will start to bounce and accumulate up here and you'll be earning fees for the whole duration. So if you think about it, we're actually kind of break even on this. And even though our price fell down, now if we brought the position, we would have probably been down a bit more than we are now. So it saves you making a mistake. So if it keeps going up, and it also saves you if the price actually falls down. 90% of the pools I enter are ones that I actually do one-sided on. I'll give you another example. The power of one-sided pools. I actually brought this coin, which was a meme coin, and I brought it in a dip. And it was somewhere around here I brought in. And position-wise, I said, okay, that's a nice dip. Judging by the chart, it's had its pullback, and it's going to have its little floor and its little run up. I'm quite bullish. Solana's looking good as a whole as well. So I brought in, and a few days later, I entered a pool. But I entered on a one-sided pool, so I went in with just the token itself, and I done a curve position. Now I done a curve position because I wanted it to swap. I thought it wouldn't bounce, basically. So let's remove these. So I didn't think it would bounce like straight back up. I thought it would slowly accumulate here. So around here is where I'm going to get most of the yield. So I thought, okay, let's concentrate our liquidity to this kind of range and we'll earn a lot more fees. So my plan is obviously accumulate and I'll have a lot more tokens and then I can just compound it when it gets to like here. I can put a spot and make this side bigger or bid ask. So, or I can just take profits. But this is a modest pool. This is like an older token, good community. I see it as a high risk meme coin, but not as high risk as most. We'll get a 2-3% today. The volume has been quite low, but I think it should range about a 4% per day, which in theory is probably going to get me about $10 per day, which I can use to buy coffee. I can use to pump back into the token, get a bigger bag. I can also take profits on that. So use one-sided pools because you can already see it here that we're starting to get a little buy pressure back in. And that's kind of what we want. We don't want it to sink low, 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 low. So be careful. It must be tokens you want to actually see. Okay, Jupiter's a good token. There's always going to be buy pressure. And what we're having, we entered up here. That's exactly what we want. We want it to kind of actually bounce out and in, out and in, out and in like that. So that's a good range. We got a nice entry, good position, and we can just leave it there for a week, hopefully as long as possible, because our yield will eventually, end up being in a position where we're accumulating a lot more yield. And this is a 1% pool. So what the fees, if we get a nice bit of volume bouncing back up, we should earn a good amount from this. We should earn probably about, let's put it into the monthly, which it might not show. So we can double our money pretty much in a month if we compound it back in. And that's a really good position to be in. Is that going to last a month? Probably not. Yeah, is it going to last 2-3 days? Maybe. It might shoot up. It might just go to, 70 cents. And then we can do another one-sided. And that's how I do it. If it falls down, which we should discuss, then you've got to either make the decision where you've got to rebalance it. So you've got to just put a one-sided at the bottom and extend your position. So if it starts to go here, you'll earn less yield, but you're going to put a position down here and keep the top range at the same. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Any questions, let me know.